crafters, and welcome to Paints and Glitter. This is Raquel. I welcome you to my channel, and today I'm going to introduce you to the newest Tonic Craft Kit. This is kit number 73, and it is a lovingly curated kit with exclusive product that you're going to be able to use along with Nuvo products and Craft Perfect papers. This is a kit that's available as a monthly subscription, or you can get a one-off kit. I'll link the details in the description bar of this video. Once you get this in your hands, you're going to have a 6x6 collection of Craft Perfect papers in gold bullion. This contains polished gold, gold pearl, harvest gold, and honey gold colors of paper in both a mirror and a polished finish. These are absolutely stunning, and they do come in different colors on the website. In the little bag that comes in your kit this month, you're also going to get some Nuvo product. Among them is this gold Grigoriy glimmer paste. It's absolutely adorable. It lends a beautiful shine to your projects, and it's a water-based product, so you can thin it down if you like. There's also a glitter drop in white blizzard. It looks white in the bottle, but it will leave an iridescent finish on your paper. There's also Craft Perfect low tack adhesive and Craft Perfect 3mm high tack adhesive, so you'll be able to use both, as well as either a 3 or 9mm wide chili red ribbon and the dual dot markers from Nuvo, which come in 3 different metallic finishes and both a wide nib, as you see here, or a thin nib. So those are wonderful. Now this kit is called Jingle Bells. It comes with a full set of dies and an insert. Yours is also going to have a sticker. I'm sad that I don't have one to show you, but that's okay. You're going to get one in your kit, and it's going to have a listing of all the products so that you can purchase more papers or Nuvo products if you like, and a total of 9 different stamps. Now they have wonderful sentiments. They read Merry Christmas, Peace, Love from me to you, Season's Greetings, Joy, Jingle Bells, 'Tis the Season, and Noel. Some of them have holly leaves, as you see, and I'm also pointing out that there are little stars, and the little sentiments, joy, Noel, and love, all have little stars in the center of the letters, which you can definitely top off with some glitter drops if you like to. Now, the dies come with different pieces so that you can create 2 different types of boxes. One of them is going to look like a bell, and the other one a traditional ornament. There's also holly leaves, there's berries, there's different intricate panels that you can place into your little boxes, and a swirl there. These pieces, of course, you can use individually, and there's different types of closures and a hanging element that you can use. And I cannot wait to show you what these are going to look like. There's lastly a tag that does spell out the word joy, and the little panels for the sides also have little intricate features that look either like little snowflakes or little medallions. So later you'll get to see up close what that will look like. Now, as far as the Craft Perfect paper, you'll be receiving some classic card in the color fern green. This has a weave on one side and a smooth side that you can definitely stamp or emboss onto. You're going to get 2 pieces of chili red classic card. So that is a very pretty red that if you think Santa Claus, that would be the classic red. There's also this gorgeous glitter card, and that is going to be in the color Gold Dust. It does not flake. You can cut into it, and it's got a beautiful finish so that you can definitely use it for your die cut pieces. And this also comes in different colors, so if you visit the website, you'll be able to see that. Along with these papers, you're going to get some mirror card in several different colors. One of them is going to be in the color Gold Dust. The other is in ruby red, and you're going to get a chrome silver, also, lastly, you will get a holly green. So this is going to be excellent for you to try out Tonic Studios products. There are numbers that coincide with them, so if you want to order more, you can do so. And next, I'm going to cut into this and show you how you can make your projects. To begin, you're going to use this die here from your set. It has that little flat edge. It has a solid piece that coincides with it and a verso die. Using them together, I did cut into the gold card that came in the kit, and the solid panel I did cut out with paper from the Christmas Magic collection. This is also double-sided paper from Tonic Studios. I'm going to be using the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere these together, and then very gently with my hands, I'm going to start coaxing this to dry in that curved shape. This is going to help the entire bauble have that shape, of course. And if you wanted to, you could cut into the background piece of card with the verso die. Now, using the bone folder, as you can tell, I also started training my base shape there into that same arch. And I did use the red line adhesive on the back, only on the solid edge. Now, using the smallest hexagon shape, you're going to use this to create the lid of your boxes. I did cut it twice in order to have a nice sturdy lid. So you can go ahead and start folding all of the little tabs that you have on these pieces. And there you see that red line adhesive on the back. Now, using just the little hexagon here, I'm going to apply my adhesive right onto it and then take those little tabs and join them right at the edge. Now you want to make sure that all of the tabs are folded. This is going to be important. And this is going to go all the way around. So you're going to, of course, start out with 6 panels, and it's going to end up looking almost like a little flower. So here's where I've reinforced the center. When you flip it over, you get to see the result. It's absolutely beautiful already. And now you can remove the lining to that red line tape. I also complement it with the wet adhesive. It gives you a little bit more of working time there, if you will. And you want to make sure that you keep going along the edges there, maintaining that dome shape. That's going to be important so you don't get any creases or fold lines in your paper. And I was very gentle and took my time doing this, but of course you're going to do this until you get all the way around, and just make sure that you kind of concentrate on the half circle tabs and the rest is going to come along easily. Now, using that large hexagon that you can cut out of card, you're going to place this inside of this little dome shape you created. Just make sure that you fold over the tabs to get those used to folding, and you can burnish that nicely. Then place your hexagon inside. Those larger tabs are now going to adhere onto that. So you'll place your adhesive on the inside of the tabs and then make sure you match up those corners. That's going to be really important to make sure that you keep the integrity of your shape. And for this particular one, I am going to double this up. So that's going to be the second large hexagon. That's your result. Make sure you cut out 2 of those for your large bauble with the bell shape. Now, for the bell portion of this, you're going to use this die here. It also has a layering panel that's solid and a verso die. With the solid die, I did cut out the gold card, and I also used some pearlescent card from Tonic Studios in another gold color. I used my verso die, cut into it, and I achieved this panel here, and that's the one with the little stars. I mistakenly said snowflakes, but I meant stars. And I did highlight them using one of the glitter markers. And for another portion of this, I did take the stamp in the set that says joy, and I stamped onto it 3 times. I did that a total of 3 times as well. And I went back with one of the dual dot markers and just colored right along the edge. Now, of course, you can decorate onto these panels however you like. So this is just one of many ideas. So take advantage of the stamps or embossing folders, anything you might have in your stash to give this a nice unique finish. Now, these markers are excellent because of the metallic colors that are available. They're going to match all of your different types of papers. Now, I did want to have that little gold border, however, show up. So what I did was that I took my nice scissors, I cut away a very thin border, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, and then I was able to adhere these little panels right onto that bell shape. And of course you can see that I also folded all of the little edges there very nicely. I just took my time doing that to get myself prepared, and using the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive I was able to adhere all of that paper. Here are the other three, and as you see there's red line tape also on the back of these. They're all going to adhere onto that large hexagon shape. So what I've done is I've alternated the design. Of course you can make them all the same, use any colors that you like, and what I've done here is that I've very gently started to shape my paper. Now you can definitely do this before you adhere it onto that hexagon. It's whatever you're comfortable with, but I wanted to be very gentle with it because it was pearlescent and gold card. I wanted to make sure that I didn't ruin my papers basically. So I just took my time doing that and made sure all those little tabs were facing the correct way. Now this is the underside of that bell. And now very gently and taking your time, you can join those circular tabs onto their little partner there on the side. Once that is all adhered together, you can take a second one of those little domes and just make sure that you only use one hexagon for that second dome when you're completing it, because you're going to basically double it up with the bell shape. So this is the underside of that bell shape we just made, and that's where your second little dome is going to fit. It's going to give it a beautiful finish. And now on the outer edge, you're also going to have little tabs that you want to make sure join together, and this is going to give it that really pretty bell shape, but you want to make sure that your angles are correct, and that's why I saved that for the last there. I didn't want to rush through it. But to be able to close this, because it is a tiny little box, there's this die shape. It creates a hinge, so you want to determine where you want to place it, but make sure the fold line is facing the outside of the box. I just placed it on the one panel that said Joy. I'm removing the liner of the double-sided adhesive, and I'm complementing it again with the wet adhesive. It just gives you a little bit more time to work with your angles there. And then here you see you can also use the dies included in your kit to create a little closure with a ribbon if you would like to. And what I did is I cut those out of the gold glitter card that was included in the kit. So I cut two of those little circles, and you can see there, one on the top, one on the bottom. They have a little hole, and you can thread your ribbon through it. Now these little ovals are the hanging mechanism, if you will, and they go inside of this other piece here that you're going to cut out twice. This paper now has a little slit in the center. It has little triangles on the perimeter, so I'm folding all those little triangles and I'm inserting the little ovals, but first I'm applying a little bit of adhesive just to kind of tack those together. I'm going to feed those through that little slit and then separate them once they're inside of that paper. So it takes a little bit of work there, but because I had added adhesive, but once they're separate, there you see that I'm adding a little bit more glue, and I'm actually adding another little tiny hexagon inside just to keep that nice and sturdy. So there you see that little hanging mechanism. And as for the little triangles I had mentioned before, those are going to adhere to the little square portion of this paper one by one, and it's going to create that little piece that will hang your ornament. Now this needs to be nice and sturdy, so with the second one that you've cut, you're going to repeat the same process, only this time Once they're all adhered together, this is going to feed inside of the first one that you had made. So you can just kind of coax that in there gently and make sure you apply adhesive, of course. This is now going to adhere to the top of your bauble. So go ahead and place that. It'll match exactly. And while that is drying, you can decorate the rest of your little bell or bauble. Now, this is the tag that says joy. I cut it out of two different types of paper, and this is one sample here. I'll be coming back and sharing a little bit more. But here's the second type of ornament you can make. Now, you're going to make another lid just like the first one. So here you see some double-sided tape. I did place a little magnet under there, and you can also tell that there's only one little hexagon there, and the top also has the hexagon shape. That's how you're going to distinguish one from the other, because the other one has a pointy little tip there. So using the matching dies there, I've used again the glitter card, and this time also the ruby red card. I also placed the double-sided adhesive behind that mirror card, and because I want this to have that golden edge showing, I did cut these down slightly, just very little, and I'm doubling that up with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. This is going to help this stick right onto that glitter card. That's absolutely gorgeous. And I also place double-sided adhesive on there, but I'm also adding a little bit more wet adhesive. And that's going to go onto these little pointy bits there, or panels. And they're also going to adhere the same way onto a large hexagon. So for this, however, you only need 6. So for the first bauble, you needed 12. This time it's only 6 of these pointy ones, and then 6 of the, I should say maybe regular ones. So make sure you add adhesive again to the edges and focus on that little pointed edge there when you are pressing these papers together, so that way you get a really nice shape when it's all said and done. Now, the video is sped up, so I don't take too much of your time, but please do take your time when you're shaping these items. And there is the result, and on the bottom here, you're going to see that when you place these two together, you're going to have one edge that's going to be your hinge, so you want to adhere that, and then on the opposing edge is where you want to place your magnet. So a little cheater method is to place the magnets together first, add a little drop of glue, and use the magnet to kind of give you your placement, and then you can go ahead and reinforce that and hide it with yet another hexagon. And of course you can use a smaller magnet if you'd like to, but that's up to you. So here I'm hiding that with the second hexagon. So for each ornament you end up with 4 large hexagons if you'd like to. Now I'm applying the hinge, and this closes very nicely, and while I'm allowing that to dry, I'm also going to decorate the top of this bauble. So I took out yet another one of those dual dot markers, and I just went along the edge here. That happens to be in the brighter gold, and I also decorated the outside of this bauble using that same marker. And at the end here, I'm going to show you the result of how I've decorated my baubles, but here you see how once my little magnet there was hidden, I was able to add yet another hexagon just to make sure that this has a really beautiful finish. But this was a lot of fun to make. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. There are so many beautiful little details here. So for instance, here are the holly leaves. You can decorate them, or you can cut them out of metallic papers. And I will be back to share with you the results. I hope that you do like this tutorial, that it has been helpful to you, and let me know in the comments which one you like best. Okay, so here are the final results of the bell ornaments and the other just traditional ornament that I have made. And I just wanted to go around the sides so you can see how I've used the products from the kit. This is an absolutely just fabulous set. And as you can see there, I've used just the ribbon to hold on to those little tags that you can decorate using the supplies and the papers in your kit. You're going to have plenty of gold card to go around, and I've supplemented mine with more papers so that I could, of course, complete my projects, because what you're getting in the kit is a sampling of items that you can use. And so you do want to take advantage of the papers that you already have, but I think it's absolutely stunning. The drops, by the way, I've used here in the centers of the little stars, and then I've also used them on the centers of the little holly berries here. The next item that I made was this bauble here, and on this I did use the Glitterati Glimmer Paste. So I tend to end up using this with my fingers, believe it or not. It just, for some reason, is easier for me to use it that way, but I just kind of spread it along the cardstock there, and as you can see, you can really use it as thin or as thick as you like. So that's why I used it in that manner, just to give it a little sparkle there. But if you can tell, I used the little swirls that came in the kit, placed them right on here, and then I did it in the different mirror card that was available in the kit. Here I stamped the sentiment Merry Christmas and tied again the ribbon. So on this one, as I shared in the tutorial, there are magnets hiding inside of here, and it's just so lovely. The size, by the way, is quite substantial. So here is another one that I did off camera, and I wanted to create a more Victorian looking one, and this paper is just happens to be from my stash. I did complement the paper with more of the glitter drop. And as you can tell, it looks a little bit white in the bottle. That's because of the glitter there. It's called White Blizzard. However, you can layer it onto different colors of card. That's what I wanted to show. So it just dries clear with that bit of shine. And here I created, using other tonic dyes that I happen to have in my stash, a rose, a little cabbage rose, and then some little flowers that I wanted to look like little poinsettias. And to tie it together, I did use some pearled ivory on the smaller flowers, and this is a mica mist from the Nuvo range. I also used the Aztec gold. So you just shake these bottles and all of that color swirls around. I tend to take it out of the bottle and use it with a paintbrush onto the flowers. It just gives it a gorgeous finish and not too much. This paper is from Tonic Studios. The floral, however, is not, but I did use the green mirror card that was in the kit to complete this bell. And then on the bottom, as you see there, I did use the panels that you can cut out using the die set. And on the edge of this, I did use one of the dual dot markers here. So I did use the platinum gold, and that was the lightest one, onto this color card. And this paper, by the way, is the champagne. So this is a color that goes very well with greens or reds. So if you're looking for a neutral color that you can use with all of the ones that were included in your kit, then the champagne is a color that I would recommend. Also, if you happen to have the Principal Pearlescence, this stack will work very nicely with these colors. What I used from this stack was the Ivory Sheen, and that is a really beautiful neutral card that you can use. And what I did here was to stamp the sentiments onto that, and then I did color along the edges with the darker marker here. It was the Black Pearl, and that way it would match the rest of this. And of course, you can just have tons of fun. Lastly, what I did was that I created a card, and to make this card, I did use all three of the markers. Now, these have a domed nib. that is, it's quite round. And so what's really fun about these markers is that you can use them to create polka dots. So what I did is that I literally just pointed them straight down onto my paper, and I used all 3 colors there just to create a sweet little background. Now on the edge of this card, I used the Glitterati Glimmer paste, and I just painted along the entire edge of this card. It gave it that nice touch of glitter. Then I followed that up with, from the Mirror Card collection, the Gold Pearl color, which is this one here. So I used that layer as well. Then I followed that up with a white piece of card that I also colored along the edge using the lightest marker here, and this is the Platinum Gold. Then here you can see I use the stamp from the kit. It says Peace, and I followed that with the Chili Red card, and again the gold card, the little holly and berries there I used, and then I just used 3 panels here with that green card that was in the kit. It is such a beautiful, beautiful color. So it's a super easy card that you can make. I used the swirls from the kit. I used more little berries, and then those little leftover pieces here from what you can use to complement the center of your leaves if you want to. And I just thought for batch making, this would be perfect if you want to get together with your friends, cut out the papers ahead of time, and then just make some cards to give away. I think these would be very well received. And you can definitely get all of your card bases and matching envelopes directly from Tonic Studios. These are in the color Ivory White. And these card blanks come just together so that you don't have to worry about measuring or anything like that. And all you have to do is reduce the panels by a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch, depending on how wide you want that border to be. And then, of course, everything else you cut out with the kit. And there you have it. Super easy. So you can definitely give this a try if you're a brand new crafter. I very much encourage you to just give it a try. If you have any questions, of course, you can feel free to reach out to me if there's anything that I may have missed. Now, the Tonic Craft Kit allows you to not only receive these beautiful items that you can play with, but you get a 10% discount on anything else that you see on the websites. They do ship internationally all over the world, so if you need to shop with the UK link, you can use that, or if you are stateside, you live in the USA as I do, you can definitely use the USA link. That will be added down below. Let me know your thoughts, and as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.